Let us discuss one more example in this video. In this example, what is being done is we are calculating the total number of the errors, total number of the count errors. Okay, we are counting the total number of the errors. So here, what happens here is that you have a task 1 and you have v count errors function. You are passing the total number of the errors that you have in this task 1 function, and this is v count errors, the total number of the errors you have in this task t2 function. Finally, we are adding these two errors, so you need to get updated. Okay, so that is what you need to have it here. So which is the, of course you are calling this function v count errors is called by the task 1 function, v count errors is called by the task 2 function. As you can just look into this one, v count errors is called by the task 1 function, v count errors is called by the task 2 function. So of course this is c errors variable is being declared here. Now whatever 9 that comes here, and then 11 comes here. Now one thing, what is c errors is equal to c errors plus c new errors. So since v count errors is called by both these, v count errors function is called by both these two tasks, what you have to understand, which is the shared variable? C errors is the shared variable. What is the shared variable that you have? C errors, and this C errors can result in the errors now because of the same problem that we had in the last example that we discussed. So here also we shall look into that one, how sharing of the variable. Why this variable is shared? Though you have not written these C errors variable in these two tasks, you can just understand because you are calling function here. V count errors, the same function is called by both the tasks, that is task 1 as well as the task 2, and in v count errors, what is the variable that we have used? C errors. So C errors is equal to C errors plus C new errors. Of course C new errors comes here, but C errors gets updated, and how that updation because of the sharing of the variable between two different tasks will result in the errors, that we shall just look into it. Of course assembly code for the v count errors. Now what will happen, this is though you have written C errors is equal to C errors plus C new errors, what you have to understand here is that this is what, like you have written C errors plus is equal to C new errors. This is same as, this is the assembly level that you have it. Though C language you write it in assembly level, this assembly equivalent of the C programming. Now what happens here, you move C errors is equal to C errors plus C new errors, you move C errors into the R1 register, then you add R1, that is what you are doing. So let me write C errors is equal to C errors plus C new, C errors plus C new. Now what you do, this you move it to the register R1, okay, then add R1 plus C new errors. C new errors, what you have, this you add it, and that is what you have add function here. This is what you add function. C errors move to the R1 register, and R1 when it is added with the C new errors, same it is way of adding C errors plus C new errors. That is what you get in the R1 register. So finally R1 will contain C errors plus C new errors, and that C errors plus C new errors you move from R1 to C errors, and that is what equal here. Okay, so finally move R1 to C errors, this C errors will be containing C errors plus C new errors. So these three lines are equivalent of C errors plus is equal to C new errors C statement. Now of course how this C errors when that variable is shared among two different tasks, how that will result in the errors, that we shall just look into it now. Okay, so in this one actually we will just discuss. Now let me assume C errors value. First initially you have C errors is equal to, let me write it like this way, C errors is equal to 5. Assume that some initially C errors value is equal to 5. Now what happens here is that, assume that now first in this timeline, now you have same register. This one thing what you have to understand, R1 for the task 1, R1 for the task 2. Now this is C errors. Now what happens here is that first task 1 calls v count errors. So this task T1 calls v count errors. When it calls v count errors, what happens, v count errors of 9, that is passed here. When that is passed here, now obviously it comes here. Now what this 9 comes here, when this 9 comes here, 9 plus what you have C errors now, 9 plus 5. So 9 plus 5, what do we get here, that is 14, isn't it? Move R1 comma C errors, add R1 comma C new errors. See, one thing what you have to note here is that this is the assembly equivalent that you have. C errors plus is equal to C new errors. Task T1 calls V count errors of 9, because first task T1 calls. When task T1 calls, this 9 comes here, C new errors. Now 9 is added with C errors, that is 5. So that is what, move R1 comma C errors. Now this is moved to the R1, so R1 will be containing 5. Now the C new errors is added with the R1. So obviously C new errors, that is 9. So 9 plus 5. Now what is R1 containing? R1 is containing 14. This is what, okay. So add R1 comma C new errors. Now R1 will be containing 14. This is just bear in the mind here. R1 is containing 14. Now one thing what you have to understand, before R1 gets passed on to C errors, it is very important. Before R1 gets passed on to C errors. Now that is before 14 gets passed on to C errors, means now what should C errors contain? C errors should have contained 14, but just bear in the mind, R1 is not passed on to C errors. Before it pass on, I can just note down here, there are 3 statements here, but how many statements are there? Only 2 statements. C errors, you had 5 here. Now this 9 comes with the C new errors. 9 plus 5, R1 is containing 14, but R1 is not moved to the C errors. Okay, this statement is not written. This statement is not written. So now the interrupt happens. Assume that task T2 is having higher priority than task T1. Okay, now task T2 switches to, RTOS switches to task T2 before moving R1 content to C errors. Okay, before moving R1 content to C errors, you are interrupted. The processor is interrupted, so that's why RTOS moves to task T2, because T2 is having the higher priority than the T1. Okay, now so now what happens now? What is your C errors containing? C errors still it is containing 5 only, and R1 is containing 14, because C errors was not updated with R1 value. Before it got updated, RTOS switches to task T2. That is what happens here. Okay, now it switches to task T2. Now you just understand. So what will be the C errors value now? So C errors value will be, it will not be 14, because C errors was not updated with the R1 value. Now C errors value will be containing 5 only. Now since this is 5 here, and what you have got is 11 here, move R1 comma C errors. Now R1, okay, one thing what you have to understand, okay, before we go to this one, whenever RTOS switches to task 2, we have already discussed about some term called context switching. Okay, so what is context switching? Earlier video we have discussed this one. Context switching basically, okay, you are saving the values. Let me crudely write it here. You are saving the values. So values of all the registers, and maybe some of the memory locations you might have accessed. So those all things actually you save it in the stack. So saving the registers, let me write saving the registers onto the stack. So saving the registers onto the stack, when you do this one, when you save the register contents onto the stack here, now when RTOS switches to task 2, because why you are saving the register contents onto the stack? Because when you come back, you should know what was the value that was there in the register before it got interrupted, because you have to remember. And how does the processor remember? By saving the content onto the stack. We use the push and pop instructions. You push the contents of registers onto the stack, you pop the contents from the stack and put it in the registers when you return from the stack. So whenever RTOS switches to task T2, what is that is pushed onto the stack? The R1 content that is pushed onto the stack, because this register that you have to save. So that is what R1 is saved onto the stack. Then what is the value that is R1 is holding? 14. So 14 is saved onto the stack. Now RTOS switches to task T2 before R1 updates the value of the C errors. Now C errors is containing 5 only, because C error is not updated. Before it got updated, RTOS was interrupted by the task T2. Now it switches to task T2, C errors is containing 5 here. Now 5 is, okay, now C errors is containing, that you move it to the R1. So R1 will be containing now 5 here. Okay, now R1 is containing 5. Now 5 is added with, add R1 comma C new errors. Now what is the C new errors? That is 11. So 5 is added with 11. Now what do you get here? That you get it as 16, isn't it? Now what is the R1 that is containing? R1 is containing 16. R1 is containing 16. Now you are okay. Now nothing is getting updated. Now R1 just you move it to the C errors. Now when you move R1 to C errors, now what is C errors containing now? C errors is containing 16. Okay, C errors is containing 16. That is what you have it here. C errors is containing 16. Now what happens? C errors is containing 16. That is fine. Now RTO switches to task 1 because task 2 is over now. Task 2 is over. Okay, that is counting out the errors with respect to that one, it is over now. So because you don't have anything apart from this one. Of course, when we count errors, when you return that one, this you don't have anything apart from updation of the C errors, so that you don't have anything in this one, isn't it? Just return, you can just observe here, return function. So when you return that one, what RT was, because it was interrupted, task 1 was interrupted by the task 2, it switches to task 1. So when RTO switches to task 1, what happens here is that, tell me, from this, because this has to be completed, because this was not completed, isn't it? Because before actually execution of this statement, move C errors comma R1, before execution of that statement, what happened was that your T1 was interrupted by the T2. So when T1 was interrupted by the T2, this statement was not executed. Now R1, which was what was R1 before the interruption happened? R1 was containing 14, isn't it? This is what I have written here. R1 was containing 14 and 14 was pushed onto the stack. Now this 14 which was there in the R1, that will be copied to the C errors. Okay, so that will be copied to the C errors. Now 14 is copied to the C errors. Now what will be the final calculation of the C errors? That will be 14. Is it the right answer? Is 14 the right answer? No, 14 is not the right answer. That is what you have got here, 14. Okay, 14 is pushed and 14 you get it here. 14 is not the right answer. Okay, but what should have been the right answer? This 14 you got it because R1 was pushed onto the stack. Okay, before the switching of the task from T1 to T2, and in T2 task, what was the C errors that was calculated? C errors was calculated to 16. The 11 was added with the C errors. 11 when it got added with the 5, you got that one as 11 plus 5, that is 16. So now when again T2 resumed to T1, when T2 resumed to T1, you got that value that was there in the R1, that is 14. 14 we got it again stored into the C errors now. But what should have been the errors? It is neither 16, it is neither 14, it should be 25. Why should it be 25? See, because it is the calculation of the total number of the errors. Actually, what was your C errors earlier? Initially it was 5, isn't it? So 5 from the task 1, how much errors you are getting? Or let me tell you how many errors you are getting. So that is 9, isn't it? 5 plus 9. Now from the task 2, how many errors you are getting? 11. So 5 plus 9, 14 plus 11 is 25. This should have been the answer. This 25 is the value actually C errors. Now let me actually tell you how, if that now let me show you here. See, if this had completed here, like move, that is C errors comma R1. If this had completed here only before switching of the task 1 to task 2, definitely would have got this answer. Let me tell you how. Because see here, 5 here, 5 comes here, 5 is moved to R1. Now R1 is 5 plus 9, 14. 14 is stored in R1. Now 14 is copied back to C errors here. Okay. So what is the value that you have it in the C errors now? C errors what you have is 14. Okay. And this is important now, just take this value. Now RTO switches to task 2. Now what will be the value of the C errors here now? C errors now it is containing 14. So 14 is moved to the R1. 14 is moved to R1. Now R1 is added with the C new errors. 14 plus 11. Now what is stored in R1? That is 25. 25 is moved to the C errors. So definitely you will have this matching with this one. But since this was not completed before the execution of this statement, RT was switched to task T2. The problem was the sharing of the C errors variable. Now since actually this was not completed, your R1 is containing 14 and 14 is saved onto the stack. Okay, and what was this? This is, instead of getting 14 here, because R1 was not copied to C errors. This is the error that we have it here. Since it was not copied, C errors, instead of having 14, it will have only 5, and that's why 5 plus 11, 16 you get. 16 is obviously copied to the C errors, but one more error that you will get here. Even though C errors you have 16, your 16 also will not be displayed here. Why will this 14 be displayed? Because when it switches back from task 2 to task 1, this R1 what it was containing 14, that will be copied to the C errors here. Again C errors is that 16 value will not be there, you will have 14 here, because R1 that value is taken from the stack and put up in the C errors, isn't it? So here the mistake was this not completion of this statement. If that had completed, you would have got updated C errors, you would have updated the C errors value with the with adding of the C errors plus new C errors, that you got 14 plus again 11, you get it as 25. You would have moved from R1 to the C errors. Because of this error, you will have the wrong calculation of the C errors. Okay, of course, what is the error? That not completion of the move C errors comma R1. Of course, we will not say that one as error also. That calculation didn't happen because of the sharing data problem. What was the main problem that we had it here? That this variable, that is C errors is shared between task T1 as well as the task T2. Of course, directly it is not shared. Through the vCountErrors function, the C errors is shared between two different tasks. That sharing of the data between two different tasks resulted in the updation of the value of the C errors to be 14 whenever the interrupt happened in the middle of the execution of the task 1 function. If the interrupt happened after the completion of the task 1 function, there is no problem in this one. There is no problem, because the interrupt happened in the middle somewhere. Actually, updation of the C errors with the R1 value was not done. The C errors actually retained the older value, so that's why you got this 14 instead of 25. So this is what you have the sharing data problem. Of course, you have some techniques, that is semaphore techniques, to overcome that one. Maybe in the earlier videos you might have seen that one. You make this section as atomic only, that is you disable interrupt, again enable the interrupt, so that the variable is not shared whenever it is whenever some task, another task interrupts the maybe in this case it is task 2 interrupts the task 1, you don't actually allow that one only. So you disable that interrupts. Of course, that is also one way that you can do it, but we will discuss a better way also, that you have semaphore technique to solve these kind of sharing data problems. Okay, so hope you understood this one. Fine. Thank you.